Good morning. I wasn't going to do this. I was actually going to enjoy my little day off, but it's what it is. I was reading today about how the state of Texas is not going to make any type of new gun laws or protections in the aftermath of their Santa Fe school shooting. So basically that means those kids died in vain. In essence. That's basically what that means. I'm going to go ahead and just put it out there for you. I think one of the lawmakers tried to come up with some kind of law on gun safety at home or something. Didn't go over so well. And people were saying that that's at least something that the attitude is changing. I don't think about that kind of stuff no more. Not in those kind of states. Because that attitude is about 10, 20 years behind the lines. So, that attitude will be there when I'm in my 50s or in my 60s. We have these red flag laws being put up all over America. Everybody knows about them already. Which is basically if you have mental health problems. Generally, most of the laws are the police or family members can persuade the court to have your guns taken from you for a period of 30 days. Have you committed? Have you looked at? And to go over there. And I know they always talk about how if criminals want to commit crimes, they'll do it. Their laws don't stop it. We're not talking about criminals. And I've said that before, that if we are to understand these mass shooters or to at least work towards dealing with them, we have to understand why they do what they do and what's the motivation for these acts of violence that continue to keep happening. They keep happening. These folks aren't doing it because they can't pay their rent. They're not doing it because they can't get a ride to work. They're not doing it because the kid is sick, they don't have health insurance. That's not why they're doing these things. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but the reality is we're living in a society that we're living in a time where the white male is at war with his own society. And we're living in a time where America has accepted white male rage. Oh yeah. You ain't gonna have no Arabs doing this stuff or blacks out here shooting the place up. It's not gonna happen. I'm not saying it should. I don't got knock on wood, but I'm just making the point that this is white supremacy. The Gabrielle Giffords shooting, that boy was mentally ill. We know this. He had threatened her before. Okay. That boy Cho of Virginia Tech, he had mental problems. He had a restraining order. They couldn't follow up on it. Okay, that's another system that broke down. You had quite a few mass shootings where people stole guns from their parents, which is actually what they were talking about in Texas. They wanted to do some kind of law on the parents. Hope you own their guns. There have been a few of those. So, regulations, some sort of oversight would help with these things. But instead you're spending trillions of dollars dropping bombs in the desert. You see what my point I'm trying to make here? It says laws would help. And I haven't looked into it, I've read that states that have stricter gun laws have less mass shootings. I don't know about that. But if that's true, that's the point. What it is, I say this all the time, they want to uphold white supremacy and maintain it. And they don't want to take any chance that it will be disturbed by gun laws and things of that nature. See, they understand what I understand. That once you start changing laws, you're upsetting the apple cart. And if your society is based upon guns and violence and the cowboy mentality, then you don't want to upset the apple cart. It's like Trump. He's set his whole agenda upon the economy, and he's pretty much said that. Republicans say that. I mean, when you look at the billboards back in November, all they were talking about was, if you like the economy, vote Trump. If you like the economy, vote Republican. That's all they could talk about. Nothing about him nothing about him as a man, nothing about what he's doing for the world, making the world a better place. No, it's all about money and the economy, which is it's definitely important. I'm not trying to downplay it. I want folks to have jobs. I want folks to be able to keep the lights on. Okay? I'm not trying to make fun of that. But I just think that to be in public office in a democracy, whether it be presidents or Congress or the House or whatever, you have to have a certain a robust sense of the public good. That the things you're doing are creating a precedent, and that you're out here doing things that will reverberate for a long time after you're gone, after you leave that place of governing, after you breathe your last breath, that you're creating a precedent, and that you're trying to create confidence in the laws, trying to create confidence, in the government, and that you're doing things to help the people. Not about you, not about me, but for the people, for the constituents. Not about selfishness. That's what Trump is about. Anyway, I just feel like I'm yawning this whole time. I'm sorry. I just feel like with this Texas thing, it's just, I go to them places when I was on the road, and I used to feel bad for them kids, man. You could just see it, like that the world is changing, and their parents are putting on them this outdated ideology that's just not real. It's not, man. So be sure.